This is the first video in a series of 5 videos covering the chapters of the book, How to Develop Your Personal Mission Statement by Stephen R. Covey. In this video, we will address Chapter 1, the Personal Mission Statement. Imagine that you're inside an airplane, about to take off. The pilot has a clear destination, a well-defined flight plan, precise coordinates. And yet, throughout most of the journey, the plane is slightly off course. Winds, turbulence, pressure changes, small interferences. All of these push the aircraft away from the perfect line. But do you know what guarantees that it arrives? Continuous correction, the constant reminder of the right direction, the return to the destination. That's the essence of Stephen Covey's first chapter, having a conscious destination, having a personal mission. Now bring that metaphor into your financial life after 40. How many turbulences have you faced? Debts, regrets, impulsive decisions, missed opportunities, bad advice. It seemed like nothing was working out. And yet, you made it here. But did you arrive where you truly wanted, or were you just pushed by the wind? The truth is simple, and at the same time, uncomfortable. Most people live without a flight plan, without a destination, without a mission. When that happens, the world decides for you. Other people's opinions decide. Urgencies decide. Crisis decides. The market decides. And we just react. Covey explains that everything is created twice, first in the mind, then in reality. Before a house exists, there's a blueprint. Before a business exists, there's a vision. Before prosperity exists, there's identity. When you don't consciously create the first version, the mental one, you're just building the second, reality based on chance. It's like letting someone random design your future. And here's the most powerful point. If you don't write your personal mission, the world will write one for you. When we cross our 40s, we feel the weight of consequences. We no longer have our 20s to waste. Time feels shorter, mistakes feel more expensive, fears feel louder. But it's precisely here that the concept of a personal mission becomes an extraordinary tool for prosperity. A personal mission isn't just a pretty phrase, it's an internal GPS. It answers questions that protect you from financial anxiety. What are my values? What truly matters to me? How do I want my money working for me? What kind of legacy do I want to leave? You realize that prosperity is much more than paying bills. It's about feeling purpose. Covey mentions Viktor Frankl, the Austrian psychiatrist who survived Nazi concentration camps. Frankl discovered that the prisoners who survived weren't necessarily the strongest or the smartest. They were the ones who had a sense of the future, a reason to continue. They had a why. In his words, those who have a why can endure any how. In other words, when you know where you're going, you endure turbulence, make better decisions, and embrace intelligent sacrifices. When you don't know, any obstacle becomes a reason to quit. After 40, many people carry financial trauma, failures, debts, shame. The past feels louder than the future. But Covey explains that a personal mission gives you the power to flip that logic. When you have a destination, your future becomes stronger than your history. And something extraordinary happens. Hope. Hope isn't fantasy. Hope is direction. The pilot doesn't panic because he knows where he's going. The mature investor shouldn't either. Debt doesn't define destiny. It only reveals behaviors. When you define your personal mission, something changes immediately. You begin to say no more easily. No to expenses that steal peace. No to commitments that drain energy. No to people who pull you away from your purpose. And new yeses begin to appear. Yes to learning. Yes to building. Yes to prospering. Many people try to fix their financial lives with spreadsheets, apps, cuts, spreadsheets, and more spreadsheets. That helps, of course, but it doesn't solve the cause. Money obeys identity. If your identity is survival, you'll live putting out fires. If your identity is construction, you'll plan and grow. After 40, we mature. And maturing means choosing who we want to be from this point forward. We can no longer simply let life happen. Covey explains that there are unchanging principles, true values. They are like the north on a compass. When you define your mission based on these principles, you become stronger than your circumstances. The world may be in crisis, but you remain oriented. You don't prosper by luck. You prosper by direction. Creating a personal mission requires courage. It demands looking inward. Difficult questions arise. Which patterns are sabotaging my life? What belief about money is holding me back? What story am I telling myself to justify my results? These questions create discomfort, and it's good that they do. Discomfort is the path. People over 40 carry two simultaneous forces: the maturity of experience and the fear of time. And it's exactly at this intersection that a personal mission becomes a true turning point. A mission clarifies who you are today and who you can become tomorrow. It reminds you every day that you have a destination, that there's still time, that your story doesn't have a final page already written. When you write your mission, you crystallize intentions. Your mind begins to filter opportunities, reduce distractions, and seek knowledge. Something inside starts to organize itself. You stop chasing money and begin attracting possibilities. The process is not fast, and it shouldn't be. Writing without thinking doesn't create a mission. It creates slogans. But deep reflection transforms. Ask yourself, what is truly important to me? How do I want to use my talents? What kind of financial life would bring me peace? Which habits do I need to abandon? Which behaviors do I need to adopt? What future do I want to build? These answers form foundations. And remember, prosperity is not an event, it's a construction. You can write your mission as a text, a short declaration, or even a visual symbol. What matters is that it represents who you choose to become. Because prosperity, above all, is a decision. And when turbulence comes, and it will, you will do what the pilot does: correct the course, return, reorient, breathe, and move on. The past does not determine your destiny. Your mission does. So, at the end of this video, I leave you a mature invitation. Write your flight plan. Do not allow fear, scarcity, or noise to decide for you. You've already lost too much time living on autopilot. Your future begins when your mission begins, like what you saw. Then don't forget to like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe with the bell on so you won't miss any of the upcoming videos. And there's more. Your financial journey doesn't end here. Check out the link below in the first pinned comment and keep moving forward.